Welcome to this tutorial on exception handling in Kotlin Coroutines. In this video, we'll explore how to properly handle exceptions in coroutine hierarchies using try-catch blocks and specialized handlers. Understanding exception handling is crucial for building robust and reliable applications with coroutines. Let's dive in and learn how exceptions propagate through coroutine structures and how to manage them effectively. Let's start with the basics. Standard try-catch blocks work perfectly inside coroutines, just like in regular Kotlin code. In this example, we have a suspend function called fetchData. Inside the try block, we call a risky operation that might throw an exception. If the operation succeeds, we print the result. If it fails, the catch block catches the exception and prints the error message. This is the most straightforward way to handle exceptions in coroutines when you know where an error might occur. Now, let's understand how exceptions propagate in coroutine hierarchies. There's a key rule to remember. Exceptions propagate up the coroutine hierarchy. This means that when a child coroutine throws an exception, it doesn't just affect that one coroutine. The exception cancels the parent coroutine and all sibling coroutines as well. This behavior is called structured concurrency, and it ensures that failures in one part of your coroutine tree don't leave other parts running indefinitely. Different coroutine builders handle exceptions differently. When using launch, exceptions are thrown immediately to the parent coroutine. This means the failure propagates right away. However, with Async, the behavior is different. Exceptions are stored inside the deferred object until you call the await function. This gives you more control over when you want to handle the exception. Understanding this difference is important when deciding which builder to use. Let's see launch in action. In this example, we use run blocking and launch a coroutine that immediately throws a runtime exception with the message crash. Notice the print line statement that says this won't execute. Because the exception from the launch block propagates immediately, it crashes the entire scope before the print line can run. This demonstrates how launch handles exceptions aggressively, making the failure visible right away. Now let's compare that with Async. Here, we create a deferred object using Async that throws a runtime exception. Notice that the print line saying this executes actually runs successfully. The exception is not thrown immediately. Instead, it's stored in the deferred object. The exception is only thrown when we call deferred.await. This delayed exception handling gives you more flexibility in managing failures with Async. For global exception handling, Kotlin Coroutines provide the CoroutineExceptionHandler. This is a special handler that catches uncaught exceptions in your coroutines. In this example, we create a handler that prints the exception message when an exception occurs. We then create a coroutineScope with a job and attach our handler to it. When we launch a coroutine in the scope that throws an exception, the handler catches it and executes our custom logic. This is useful for logging errors or showing user-friendly messages. There are two important scope functions you need to know: coroutineScope and supervisorScope. They handle exceptions very differently. With coroutineScope, if a child coroutine throws an exception, it cancels all sibling coroutines and propagates the exception upward. This is the strict failure policy. In contrast, supervisorScope is more forgiving. When a child coroutine fails in a supervisorScope, it does not cancel the sibling coroutines and does not propagate the exception upward. This allows independent tasks to continue even when one fails. Let's see SupervisorJob in action. We create a coroutineScope with a supervisorJob. Then we launch two child coroutines. The first child throws an exception with the message child1. The second child simply prints child2 runs. Because we're using supervisorJob, child2 continues to execute despite child1's failure. The failures are isolated between child coroutines. This pattern is perfect when you have independent tasks that shouldn't affect each other's execution. Let's wrap up with some best practices for exception handling in coroutines. First, use try-catch for known recoverable errors where you can take specific action. Second, use supervisorJob to isolate independent tasks so one failure doesn't bring down everything. Third, use CoroutineExceptionHandler for global handling, such as logging all uncaught exceptions. And finally, when working with Async, remember to handle exceptions with try-catch around the await call. Following these practices will help you build robust coroutine-based applications. Thank you for watching.
If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.